Baby and Joy, how do we settle religion conflict within ethnic group?
My name is Onyinye. Sir, does tribal superiority bring about ethnic conflicts?
My name is Olaomi. Talking about communal and ethnic conflicts, what was the Ife Modakeke crisis based on?
If you are wrong, learn to say I'm sorry. Learn to say I'm sorry. Listen, humility does not take anything from you. Instead, it adds to you. Humble yourself and you will be exalted. That's the admonition.
Whether you're a man or woman, say I'm sorry. Yes. Welcome back. We have a lot of questions from the audience, so our guests, please attend to them.
Thank you very much, madam. Yes, I just had the first question. How is settling of conflict in within ethnic groups in Nigeria, religious conflict? So I would answer by saying that all over the world there is religious conflict, and how do we settle religious conflict is by tolerating one another. It's very key.
Tolerance. Yes.
Tolerance. We must tolerate one another. If we decided to start doing or talking or displaying action of superiority in a religious difference, then it will escalate violence in any given area that we have a settlement where inhabitant tribes. So number two is we must be able to give one another, each other respect we deserve.
Yes.
We must give each other respect we deserve. Then we must be able to understand the go and no-go areas from each other, each party. This is a no-go area for you, and this is a go area for you. We should be able to identify that because we must be able to live together. Living together explains that we must tolerate, we must respect, we must appreciate a no-go area between each religious ethnic settlers. So that to me is one of the things that can sustain peace in terms of living in harmony and having a peaceful coexistence. Thank you.
Because there's freedom of association.
Yes.
Part of that human law is is everywhere. Freedom of association.
Yes.
So we have been cohabiting here in Nigeria, for example.
Yes.
As far as religion is concerned, like I said earlier, it's these politicians that now make it now. People now start saying, "Oh, we have been staying there together."
Yes.
Hausa and Fulani, Igbo, and all have been living in the north, peacefully doing their work. So I think what you said is right. If we begin to tolerate ourselves, this problem will not be there.
Yes.
If you're a Muslim and you feel your religion is good, you can come to me and preach to me. For example, this is the reason why I want not to be a Christian. I want to follow my own as I worship Muhammad. I want to be your leader. And if I'm Christian too, and if you convince me, I can go with you.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not by word.
Yes,
and if a Christian too come to say, look, this is why you should be a Christian, and I'm able to convince you, you can also follow me.
Yes.
It's not by word.
Yes.
No, you see,
it's by reasoning.
It's by reasoning, and the thing is so funny. The problem here is really funny because Father Abraham is the father of these two groups.
Children, yes.
Christianity comes from Isaac.
Yes.
Muslim comes from Ishmael.
Ishmael, yes.
You see, they have one father.
Yes.
And these also two groups that believe in heaven and hell.
Yes.
These two religions.
Yes.
And yet we don't want to see each other. This
Yes.
is wrong. That is very, very wrong.
Yes.
So I, in fact, if we tolerate ourselves,
Yes.
we will live happily.
Yes.
That's how
But another thing that brings about a no-go area that I said is through politicians. I wonder why would the politician... Yes, I wanted to buttress a point regarding one experience that happened in this administration when the president was trying to introduce Ruga, in all the routes that lead all across the country. But this Ruga you want to introduce is on land. But the president had forgotten that the country is operating a federal system of government.
Yes.
A federal system of government explains that powers are shared between their component units. Now, what is a component unit? We have a local government, we have a state government, and we have a federal government. And between the 1999 Constitution, the power vested on the president on land is only on federal capital territory.
Yes. Not on states.
Not on states. So the power vested
local
on the
governments.
state is within the state in the federation.
Yes.
And the governor is vested with that power. The power vested in a local government is within
The local government chairman.
local government chairman. So you want to bring up a ruga and there's no law that is backing it,
And force
and you
everybody
want
to
it
do
to
that.
come on board, giving people different location within the state and the local government of the federation. How realizable is that? So that I would describe as a no-go area.
Yes.
That the president had quickly seen and immediately he withdrew it. I want to appreciate the president for even doing that. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Second question.
So the second question is, can tribal supremacy brings conflict? Yes, tribal supremacy brings about conflict because, like I said earlier, one cannot lord over each other. Everybody must manage each other. We have different negatives and positives as a human being. Talk less of our religious beliefs. So if the ability of managing each other, like my former advisor to President Yaradua on media and publicity, Mr. Olusegun Adeni, who happens to be my editorial board chairman in this day, he says that he can live with a madman. If a madman can be able to sleep on the same bed with him and wake up without not bringing up any means of fighting physical combat.
That violence. Would that be violence?
Yes. He went further and tilted a story that everybody has a challenge and everybody needs help. But we must follow it with sense, maturity, and understanding. And I agree with him. So if a madman can sleep on the same bed with me and it is ready to not to bring up any physical combat, we would live in harmony. But that is not to say that you are bringing in physical combat to the other party and you want to be superior to him or her and you want him not to revolt. We are all human beings.
There will be reactions, really.
With flesh and blood. He would revolt and react. So superiority should not come in anything tribal. We should be able to manage each other. Nigeria, for instance, had gotten far in managing each other. There's intermarriage, there's inter-settlement, there is potentials in different regions that brings about this region coming to this region to buy goods and services.
Live freely in any part of the country,
even guaranteed by the constitution.
And do your work.
So
without,
in so doing, nothing of that is guaranteed in the constitution except for harmony, peaceful coexistence, and sustainable development. Thank you very much.
This is VVV